What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's your girl, super in the building. Please, 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 please forgive me as I am changing systems. I haven't yet decided what type of music I'm going to produce for this new platform or even this new place, time, era that I'm in at this moment. So I'm still working on it. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Um, I want to come on today. I don't know if you see the topic, but we are back in our Was Tiffany Right series. And I want to talk about this fifth and third lawsuit just a little bit more. Because I have some more questions. I have some more questions for the residents of Dalton. I have some more questions for my viewers, being that we are critical thinkers over here. Um, that we need to really explore when it comes to this lawsuit that I feel kind of came really out of nowhere. So, there's a few questions that I want to answer about that. Uh, First of all, excuse my manners. Happy Love Day or belated Love Day or whatever you want to call it. You know, um, Congratulations to all of you that had a great, you know, love day or whatever. Congratulations to you. But happy love day anyway. I spent the day with my children, loving on my children, preparing food for them and whatnot, so forth and so on. Okay. And so that's where I'm at with it. Okay. Didn't nobody want to be my Valentine's. So that's what I did. But I had a great Valentine's anyway, loving on my children. That's all that matters. Let me get up in here and speak because y'all is up in here in these comments. I'm loving all of that. I hope you guys are having a peaceful Sunday, resting and whatnot. And I thought it would be, fitting to come on at this particular time so I can come on and get off and you can get back to your family and I can get back to mine because my kids are going to be looking for something to eat in a matter of hours. And today, rocking some gazelles because it's that type of day. You know what I'm saying? Little throwback day. Look, rocking the gazelles. These are Ken Lawrence. If you want to know what glasses is I'm wearing, these are Ken Lawrence's. We might switch to the investigation glasses as time go on because this about to get a little bit interesting, okay? Because I want to point out some things with this lawsuit. There's some people gonna feel a type of way about, and that's your business. But over here, we are going to get all of the information out on both sides, and then you make your own decision, okay? But we're gonna talk about all of it. And so let me speak. Hey, Jim C, you was first. How you doing, sir? Hey, well, I'm Guy, my favorite guy. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for modding for this channel. Ernesto, what's up? What's up? What's up? Carrington, Hollister. Now we got a celebrity in the building. I have not seen Carrington in a long time. Welcome back, sir. Thank you for tuning in and joining me once again. Okay. Last you heard, Tiffany is in Atlanta. She definitely is in the College Park area of Atlanta. Hey, Deb Hill. Happy Sunday to you. Let's see who else we got here. Hey, Alley Cat. What's up? What's up? Big, I don't even want to get that name wrong, but Big Trey, see? Is that it? I hope so. Hey, how you doing? I hope you enjoy yourself over here. What's up, Dave Bryson? Thank you for modding for this channel. I deeply appreciate all of my mods that mod for this channel and make this a safe environment for people to express their opinions and get some good information and feedback. Deb Hill says, my whole family together on 14th. Take very good care of your mama. Love grandkid. Yes. Very good care of your mom. I'm going through some things with my mother right now. And pretty scary, but God is in control. Hey, Miss Charlie, how you doing? Hey, Bobo, what's up? What's up? See who else we got in here. Okay, that's it. Did Martin G say something? Live, uncut, unedited. I love being black. Do you hear me? I love being black. What's up, Martin G? All right, let's get to this back to this because we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time, right? Okay, so let's get to um this information, okay? Let's get to this lawsuit. Okay, I feel like this lawsuit for me came out of nowhere. And again, I just want to show you some things. So we're gonna get right into it. Let's get right into it. Let's see. I gotta wait because it's a little bit of a lag with this new system. I'm gonna get that figured out too. Don't worry. I'm gonna get it figured out. All right. So as you can see, I pulled this up. This is a Village of Dalton board meeting. It's a special board meeting on March the 21st, 2024. You can go to the Village of Dalton website and you can pull this meeting up. It is currently on there. That is where I got it from. Okay. What I want to call your attention to, we're going to go down to E, the letter E under new business. Let me read it for you. It says, discussion on directing OMFM, who is Odelson, Murphy, Frazier, and McGrath, to seek assistance from Illinois General Assembly under the Financially Distressed City Law. Trustee House stated that the board should move forward to seek assistance from IGA. All present board members approved to move forward with this request. So Dalton, Illinois actually declared themselves a distressed city on March the 21st, 2024. Let me let that sink in for a minute. Maybe let me let that sink in. Y'all with me? I don't know because I'm getting some sort of. I have a little bit of a lag, but I just want to make sure that you all are with me. Did you understand that? Did you see that? Did you all know or recognize that? Let me know if you knew that. I'm gonna wait for you to respond because we got a little bit of a lag. You know how it's going right now. But so on March the 21st, 2024, Dalton, Illinois, according to these special board meeting minutes, going down to letter E, they declared themselves a distressed city and filed with the IGA in order to see if they could become declared a distressed city. Okay? All right. So we go along. That was March 24th. Let me check something right quick because okay. So I knew that I was right. So here's the first question. You do this to declare yourself a distressed city March the 21st. You saw it. I just showed it to you. March the 21st, 2024. Okay? Distressed city means you are pretty much either bankrupt or on the verge of bankruptcy as a city. You then turn on July 8th, 2025, and you purchase the Pope's home for $375,000. So are we a distressed city or are we not? Or what the kids say? Is we distressed or no? I'm just trying to figure it out. Are we a distressed city or no? The- yes, because on March the 21st, 2024, we had Odelson, Murphy, Frazier, and McGrath filed with the IGA as being a distressed city. But in 2025, we buy the Pope's home. So did we fix it in between time, the meantime? Because that was 2024, 2025. We better did we fix okay. Well, y'all think on that. Okay. Y'all think on that. I'm asking these questions because if you declare yourself a distressed city, why would you be buying the Pope's home and all of that jazz? Okay. $375,000 on top of all of the lawsuits that you're trying to figure out how you can settle. Where is this money coming from? Okay, we're going to put that out there, and that's a question. Okay. Okay. Y'all with me so far? I hope y'all are. So then, okay, we go along, we win the election, all of that, blase, blase. Okay, we fast forward, and now we are here. We out of the blue, at least for me. Now I'm gonna speak for me. Okay, come with this lawsuit that is talking about the bank allowing checks with only one signature to be paid. Okay? Stay with me. Just stay with me. Like the pastor say, we going somewhere. Stay with me. Okay. Now, let's ask ourselves as well, because we're gonna scroll down. Before we even start talking about this lawsuit, we're gonna scroll down all the way to the bottom. Super. Why you gonna do that? Why are you gonna scroll down all the way to the bottom? Because we need to know who filed the lawsuit on behalf of the village. Stay with me. We going somewhere. So we scrolling through, we going all the way down. If you didn't know, at the end of these lawsuits, any lawsuit at the bottom will be the attorney that is filing on behalf of their client. Okay, so stay with me. This is 25 pages long, 25 pages of nothing, mind you. I'm gonna let you know that. But anyway, we're gonna scroll down to the last page. Okay. And right here, it says that Devin C. Bruce, attorney for the plaintiff, which would be the village of Dalton, is filing on behalf of Power Rogers LLP. Now, if you notice, that is not OMFM, which is Odelson, Murphy, Frazier, and McGrath, which is the village attorneys, right? Are you with me so far? Let me see what these comments saying, because I don't want to, because we got this lag, I want to make sure y'all with me and what y'all saying. Let's see. There are 60 million Catholics in the U.S. The Pope's house is a gold mine for the city. Come on now. That's the best money ever spent. And it was not. How is it a gold mine for the city? Explain it. I mean, and I don't necessarily want you to defend it. I just want to know how, if you can't afford to maintain the Melanie Fitness Center, which you gave to Rucker. So we're now in Rucker, Illinois. Okay, you can't afford to maintain the Melanie Fitness Center. How can you afford to maintain a property that is also going to have employees, around the clock security or surveillance, upkeep, I mean, I don't know. Make it make sense to me. If you can make it make sense to me, then I'll be on your side. But I'm asking you if you can. These are the questions on the floor. Don't get mad at me because I just report the news. Okay, I just report it. I don't make it. None of that. I just report it. Okay? I'm asking you, how, if they could not maintain the Melanie Fitness Center, same thing. Maintenance, light bill, water bill. If you couldn't maintain that building, how do you then maintain the Pope's home, who's going to have that standard, if not higher, because it's the Pope's home? So maintenance, the grass has to be cut. The snow has to be shoveled. Security. So you may have to put in security systems. The police, of course, will be driving past this particular location because it's a city-owned building now, right? If you're going to open this building up to the public for touring, then what do you need? You need employees that are going to be inside the home, giving tours or giving facts or whatever. Then there's maintenance of the roof, the outside, the water, the light bill, the signage. I'm just asking questions at this point. If you couldn't do it for the Melanie Fitness Center, how can you do it for this property that you're maintaining? And also, what else in Dalton would bring someone to Dalton? So I'm going to see the Pope's home. What else am I going to do in Dalton that would require Dalton to be like a destination spot? What else do they have? These are questions. I mean, if it's gold mine, then it's gold mine. I just want you to explain to me how. Listen. I'm not going to be in these comments tussling with y'all. I want you to explain it. Let me read these comments because they coming in. Let me see what they're saying. Somebody said people all over the world are going to come visit their house. I wonder, has that happened? Because they do have an amusement tax. So for any tour buses that come in there, they definitely have to pay the Village of Dalton for driving down on their street. I don't know what the fee is, but they do have to do that. I just don't see it. There's been loads of water main breaks. The roads are not that good, and they're probably even worse right now with the snow because with the snow plows coming through, probably, scraping and digging again. And hopefully they can get those things repaired soon. The church that the Pope went to as a child would be a better investment. At least it can still be used as a church and historical building. Now that's the building I would have chosen, the church. But the thing about the church is it's in Riverdale and not in Dalton. It sits on the line of Riverdale and Dalton, but actually carries an address for Riverdale. So I don't know how that would work. Hey Johnny Hooker, how you doing? I'm comparing Melanie Fitness to the Pope. I definitely am. Because we're not talking about names anymore. We're talking about bills. We're talking about bills. We're talking about maintenance. We're talking about water. We're talking about lights. We're talking about employees. I mean, if you're getting donations for these things or you're getting grants for these things, why not just let the Catholic diocese buy it, and then you won't have to ever worry about anything and still have the amusement tax. They still have that. That's an ordinance and something that is already in place. So they still could get money regardless of whether they own it or not. They just would not need to have to pay the upkeep because that would go to the Catholic diocese, which has plenty of money, by the way, to take this property or to have bought the property. But they have plenty of money to maintain it. I mean, I'm just asking, are they getting enough revenue? And is anyone going through there with tours to even have the revenue? Again, we may have to wait until it get hot and revisit this conversation again. Because maybe, just maybe. So yeah, we're going to compare the two because we're not talking about who it is. We're talking about bills. We're talking about upkeep and maintenance, all of which the residents have to bear the burden of. You know, funny thing about donations, they run out sometimes, right? So you have to make sure that there's a constant influx of those donations. You know, whether it be you putting on events, if you're going to put on an event, who got to pay for it? What's up, Renee? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, you know, yeah, we're going to compare the two because we're comparing bills. We're not comparing names because it's the Pope or if it's Melanie. I don't care who it is. She come and he come with a light bill, a gas bill, if that's the case. I mean, they come with bills. But you know, like I said, I ain't here to tussle with you. I'm here just to give you the information. Let's go again. So we talking about the attorney that filed this lawsuit on behalf of the village. Why is the village attorney not filing this lawsuit? Was Bert Olson not on board with this lawsuit and that's why they're not filing it? I mean, these are questions. These are questions I have when I went through this lawsuit, right? Why is Bert Olson, who is the village paid attorney, not filing this lawsuit on behalf of the residents? And when did they retain this law firm? Are the residents aware that a new law firm has been retained and is being paid? Was it on an agenda? I could tell you right now, child, I done scoured these agendas. And I haven't seen any motion to hire Powers Rogers LLP for litigation. I haven't seen that yet. Now I'm still looking through. It's definitely not in any meetings from this year. I'm definitely looking through the meetings from last year, but I didn't see it anywhere. So are the residents aware that now paying a separate law firm to represent the village and they already have a village attorney? Let me see what y'all saying over here in these comments because Mark is tussling with himself because I'm just asking questions. Yeah, there was a bus tour to all the places, but I'm sure once Dalton caught wind of it and taxed them, it stopped. We haven't had a tour since. That's interesting. I think House, Kiana, Norwood, etc. have enough sense to figure out how to monetize the Pope's house if they don't recall all of them, because that is indeed a gift from heaven. Okay, well, I mean, that's your opinion. You have one opinion. I'm not going to tussle with you about your opinion. That's your opinion. You have the right to it. But I just want to let you know that Michael Jackson's from Gary, Indiana, and Gary does not own Michael Jackson's home. And don't come at me with the Gary is a poor city and all of this stuff. Well, they could have used that revenue. The king of pop is a poor person. He up there with the Pope, I guarantee you. And probably even a little bit more of a moneymaker, if I'm honest. And I don't know what these people can figure out, just to be totally transparent. I'm not for or against anybody, but I don't know what they can figure out. Was this even their idea? And if they are making money, have any of those numbers been presented to the residents since they made this board? Because they do have a commission, a board for the Pope's home. It has residents on it. So have they received any numbers from the previous tours, or if there's any current tours? Do they have any numbers to update the residents with when it comes to that? So I'm just asking. Right, Johnny Hooker. That is owned by a foundation because there's a lot of upkeep that comes with it. That probably would be a huge burden on the residents of Gary if they had purchased that home, but they can't put a sign out there for free. Like the Catholic diocese could have purchased this home, and then the Village of Dalton could have put a sign out there for free, and then they would have had their amusement tour, bus tour, you know, ordinance and tax, and been getting money from that consistently, if the tours were coming through there. But again, I'm just asking questions. I'm not here to tussle with you about your opinion. Make your own decision. Mark, you with them. You think it's something that's going to make money. Okay, great. When it do or if it do, but the residents should be receiving a monthly update about that situation, which I haven't seen in a while. I haven't even seen anybody talk about that in a while. Right? So is the commission meeting? They should be meeting right now because it's about to get hot again. We're going to go back, getting ready to go into spring shortly, and they should be trying to let the residents know of upcoming events that should make money, or upcoming tours that are going to be coming through there. This is the time that you should be planning and letting the public know they opened up a separate bank account for the Pope's home that I think was going to hold donations or whatever. They should also be updating the public about how much money is in that account, who's donated, a list of donors, and all of that information should be readily available to the public, even on the website. But anyway, like I said, I'm not here to tussle with you about that. That's just my opinion. The views and opinions expressed on this platform are that of the super producer, because that's something that I would want. So let's get back to this law firm, Powers Rogers LLP. Powers Rogers LLP. We haven't even heard of this law firm. Where did this law firm come from filing things on behalf of the village when the village already has an attorney? When did they vote to hire this law firm? Again, I told you, I've already started going through the minutes, the meeting agendas. There's nothing on there for this year, and I'm about halfway through for last year, and I don't see them anywhere. So when did they get hired? Who hired them? Was the public informed? Did they talk about this? Was it on an agenda? Because it should have been. You said what? You say you want to know who Powers Rogers LLP is? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's find out. So, listen. It piqued my interest once I saw them. Mark, what'd you say? You said that house should be a major source of revenue, especially since we are coming into Lent, Easter, and the summer months. This should produce millions for the city. I'm not even. Okay, Mark, if you say so, what I said was they should be presenting the residents with monthly reports. They should actually be in planning right now for these things because, like I said, it is fast approaching, right? It is fast approaching. Let me see what Renee 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 say. Do you think the Pope will ever visit his home during his Pope? Let me see. Pope Francis never visited his home once he became Pope. Yeah, no, I don't think that. I think the closest he'll come is Chicago because it's a big city center, right? I think that's the closest that he'll ever come to coming this way. But as far as coming directly to Dalton, nah, I don't think so. Um, I did see a video of Jason House saying that he sent the email or a letter or whatever to Pope Leo, and I think his team responded. I'm not sure, but if they did, he should have posted that, for transparency. Look, I received a letter or from his team or whatever, so that the residents could see that. I think it's very important in this moment to understand that the residents have been traumatized by a person that was in the seat previously that was not fully disclosing. So it's very important to fully disclose everything, right? So hence why I'm talking about this lawyer thing, because residents of Dalton, can you hear me? Did you know that you hired another? What an agenda did you piss? Was this talked about? I mean, you should know these things. My timeline may be way wrong. Wasn't Delgado attorney for Tiffany and the trustees had their own? That is correct, Deb Hill. You are correct. I agree that house needs to be managed closely. They do need to show reports. Okay, Mark, we can agree on that. And the planning needs to be public too. So, like you said, you're coming into Lent, Easter, all of those things. They should be planning loads of I guess money making things for that time around, I guess, this home. The church will make money for Riverdale. I'm not Catholic, but I've been to the missions in California many times, and those are churches also. The church is actually owned by this company called J Blends Communications. So it's owned by someone, but I think they have defaulted on their taxes. It actually has been leaned, have had a lien put on it several times, taken off, put on, taken off, put on, taken off. Listen, child, I have to call down to Cook County Assessor to sort all of that out on tomorrow, because I can't sort it out on this website. This Cook County Assessor's website, they changed their website. It is so difficult to navigate this website. It's a wonder why people are not paying their taxes, because you cannot navigate this website. If they make it any more difficult, I can't even say I blame the people for not paying, because you should, and there is an apparatus where you can pay your taxes online, but it's so difficult just trying to maneuver and get to your specific taxes or look up taxes. Very difficult. Try it. I agree with SP. The residents need to know if the church and the home were on the same tour. That might be a thought. Yeah, they're actually, like I said, they're actually in two different cities. So I don't know how that would work with Riverdale, you know, owning is on the Riverdale side, the church is on the Riverdale side, and the home is actually in Dalton. It's pretty close because Dalton and Riverdale, they're like this. One side is Riverdale and one side is Dalton. But I digress. Okay. We talking about the lawyer. See it up there on the screen. Powers Rogers LLP. And I told you all, I asked you all, do the residents of Dalton, do you know that you have hired another attorney after March the 21st, 2024, asking the IGA to declare you a distressed city, buying the Pope's home? Now you hiring another lawyer outside of the village lawyer to do the village attorney duties. This is on behalf of the village. Says the village of Dalton versus 5th and 3rd. Anyway, I digress. I'm here to talk about who these lawyers are. Okay? So Powers Rogers LLP. So I said, who are these lawyers? Never seen it before. Never been in a meeting. Was not in any type of talks during the whole time that Lil Stank was in office. Never heard of them. If you heard of them, let me know. Also, if you're a Dalton resident and they actually put this on the agenda and you heard it and Put that in the comments too, because I don't mind being wrong. And I can say I was wrong. Okay. If you find it, you let me know. I'm going to retract my statement. But right now, I don't find anything where they voted, they were put on an agenda and they were voted in front of the public, because that's how they are supposed to be hired in order to represent the village. But anyway, let's get to who these people are. Look, nice little cast of lawyers. Let me show you. Okay, here we are. Look at them. I'm gonna give you a few minutes. This is some of them. No, it's most of them. Yep. Okay, so this is their page. This is their website. Powers Rogers, trial lawyers. Say need serious lawyers. Here we go. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna scroll down through the lawyers. Okay, there go the power of Power Rogers. This say founding partner. That's the power of Power Rogers. Okay. Now here go the Rogers of Power Rogers. Does anything look familiar about this here, right here, Rogers? Anybody notice anything familiar about this, Rogers? I'm gonna wait till y'all catch up. I want to know if you notice anything familiar about this Rogers right here. Somebody said the lawyers always wind up with all the money. And they do. I think I'm gonna go back to school. Okay, even if I chase an ambulance, I'm still gonna get some money. Anything look familiar about this here Rogers right here? I'm gonna wait for y'all. We ain't gonna be here a long time. We're gonna get out of here in a few minutes. We're gonna hit some points and then we're gonna leave. I'm gonna leave you something to think about. You don't know TK or TK? What are the Rogers in Dalton do we know? We know a Riley Rogers, right? Well, this here is Riley Rogers' brother. Let me show you who's actually representing the village. If you scroll down and you keep scrolling, you see another Larry Rogers right here. What does it say? Larry Rogers Jr. Right? That's him right there. This is the nephew of Riley Rogers. And he is what? Johnny Hooker. Ding, 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 ding. He is what? He is the Cook County Commissioner. He is a Cook County Commissioner, and he sits on the board of review. You can go to the Cook County website, and you're going to scroll down until you see there he is, Larry R. Rogers Jr., Board of Review, Commissioner of the 3rd District. Well, we know that Mayor House said that Riley Rogers was his mentor, right? I think that has been publicly said. But I want to know, Dalton residents, where did they vote in front of the public to hire another attorney for this litigation? And then the attorney be connected to Riley Rogers, this Riley Rogers' nephew right here. I showed you who his father was, who looked like Riley Rogers' twin. They look like twins, literally. Okay? He is on the Cook County Board of Review. He is the commissioner of the 3rd District. Huh? What we doing? What are we doing? And again, I just report the news. I don't write it. I report it. Yes, right here under his name, Johnny Hooker, it says Larry Rogers, Board of Review. Board of Review, Commissioner, 3rd District. I'm reading straight off the website. I ain't making none of this up because I ain't got time. I really don't have time. Powers Rogers, LLP. Okay? That's the law firm representing the village for this lawsuit. Okay, let's look at something else. I'm gonna let y'all get over the shock of that. Phew, Cook County corruption is on another level. If Tiffany would have kept her mouth shut, she would have had made $1 million. Okay, she couldn't, but she couldn't do. She could not do it. She could not do. I know she kicking herself right now. She could not. She just could not be quiet and follow directions. I mean, she was following directions, but she just wasn't doing it quietly. That was the problem, right? If I had to say, that was the problem. She was following directions, but she just wasn't doing it quietly. Okay? She was very flamboyant. She was very out there. She was very outspoken, right? Like the nuance of Frank Zuccarelli was that he was very under the radar. He was very quiet with his moves. He was very loud with his philanthropy, but he was very quiet with his moves. Huh? Okay? She can do it. She cannot do it. Okay? Now, let's talk about something with this lawsuit because we need to figure out why Odelson, who been riding for them without being paid, mind you, since Henyard was in office. Okay? Keep that in your mind. We need to find out or try to figure out why he didn't want this case, why he would not take this case. Okay, because what you see before you hear, right? This is from Fifth and Third Bank. Let me show you. See, Fifth and Third Bank. There go the logo. This is their deposit account rules and regulations. Okay, when you go and you open up an account at the bank, you know how they give you that folder. They give you that folder with the papers that you signed, and they have all your stuff in there, all your disclosure statements, all of your contract that you just signed for this account that you just opened, everything they got to do with the cards that come with the account and everything, right? Okay. Because remember when I was telling you that the bank have their own rules that you pass a resolution, that ain't nothing. That's just a resolution. That's what it is. That's a resolution. It's not a law. It's not nothing that the bank got to abide by because they have to abide by this contract. See, when you sign with the bank for that account, you're signing a contract between yourself and the bank. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're responsible to do. And this is what they're responsible to do. Okay? Ain't no resolution going to trump that contract. So this is the first thing that I don't understand about this weak lawsuit because it's very weak. We're going to take some time and go through it. Not today because I just wanted to hop on and tell you about the law front. It's a lot to sit with, I know. I'm going to let you sit with the fact that they declared themselves a distressed city, just like Harvey did in March of 2024. That's one thing. I'm going to let you sit with the fact that this law firm is related to Riley Rogers, his nephew actually, and he sits on the Cook County Board of Review. Okay. It's a lot to sit with. And then this right here, what we talking about contracts. Okay. So the contract that you sign, right? So what you would need to do in order to change anything on your bank account, because the bank is not obligated to follow a resolution. They obligated to follow this contract that they signed and that you signed, right? And so they would need to go into the bank, right, and change the banking contract and signature card and update that and say, we want to update the banking contract by saying that we need to have 2 signatures on these checks that are being signed and given out, right? That's one thing you would have to go into the bank and do. Just because you send them an email or you send them a notice, it's some things you have to do in person, and you would have to go in person and do that. I've noticed in this lawsuit that nowhere in there it says that so-and-so went to the bank and updated this and they knew. I mean, I'm asking. Also, let's look at this. We're going to look at this lawsuit, right? How do I say this? So the lawsuit does not say, let's go with what it does not say. It does not say that they didn't approve these payments. It simply says that it is missing a signature. And because of that, the bank is in breach of, or not even in breach. They went against a resolution. So what you're saying is, you never said that you didn't approve the payments. What you're saying is these payments didn't have 2 signatures. So wait. And here's another gray area. If these payments, which they list all of the payments in the lawsuit, let's go back to the lawsuit. They list a whole bunch of payments. I'm going to show you. We're going to spend the day reading through this lawsuit, but we about to get out of here because I know this is some heavy information that you're going to have to sit with for just a few minutes. Somebody said, Jason House is a banker. One would think he knows the rules regarding required signatures. I'm looking right in this camera at you, D Maintenance. Happy Love Day. But anyhow, let me go. Let me get back to this. So nowhere in this 25-page lawsuit does it say that they don't owe these people this money. They just say that the check that they deposited was missing 2 signatures. This is the weakest lawsuit I've ever seen filed. And at best, the Village of Dalton is going to be on the hook to pay these law services whether they win or they lose. That is the problem. But anyway, we looking at these, look at all these checks that they list and all these amounts. Nowhere in this entire lawsuit, and we're going to read it, do they say that they did not approve these amounts. All they say is that the checks were missing a signature. So what you're saying is these people provided a service to the village, which you agree they provided because you approved for them to get paid. But because it was missing 1 signature, you now say the bank is at fault for paying them. But you never said that they didn't perform any of these services and that they shouldn't be paid, just that their check was missing a signature. And you talk about Tiffany throughout this whole lawsuit, but you don't talk about her in a way that this is criminal activity that she did. The village didn't lose anything, and I'm not even sure it's against the law. Nobody going to jail and no money coming in. Lawyers get all the money. But why? Because why did you didn't have to hire a lawyer to file this? You didn't even have to file this. This is why I asked, what type of smoke screen is this for? This is why I asked the question. What type of smoke screen is this for? Is it for you to look like you're out here championing and trying to right the wrongs that Lil Stank did? So you can appear to the public to be saving the day at the cost of a lawyer's fees, which could exceed 50 grand, depending on the amount of hours and how long this lawsuit get drug out. But I'm going to be billing you these billable hours every month for working on this lawsuit. What we doing? I mean, what's really going on? What these finances really looking like? Are you a distressed city, as you claimed in 2024? Is that paperwork still ongoing? Residents of Dalton, how do we find out? I'm working on it. I'm working on finding out. The answer is not going to come from the village, though. Let's just be clear about that. The answer is not going to come from the village because everything in the village is lollipops, roses, and a good time because everybody now is getting along. Lots to report on this subject, along with other things. I am so overwhelmed with the amount of information and things that I need to bring to you, man. But, sitting down to do the research and making sure that I'm bringing you something that you can look up yourself and read for yourself, that's another matter. That takes a while, right? Did the trustees approve any of these checks? Oh, yes. They approve. If any of these checks were on the warrant list and approved to be paid, all of them. Because as I said in the lawsuit, they are not saying that they don't owe these people. The only thing they're saying is these checks were missing a signature. It's sort of like a default. They're trying to get a default $1.8 million judgment on a technicality because these checks were missing a signature. However, I'm sure that the lawyers that the bank has are like, oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Did you come into this bank physically and change all these things? And what does their contract say about changing those things? And then they could employ the judge that, Your Honor, they're not saying that they don't owe this money, that they didn't owe that money that we paid. What they saying was the check was missing a signature. However, the one signature that was on the check was authorized. I'm not sure how the judge gonna view that. Again, these judges have their own interpretations. Was a forensic audit completed? Absolutely not. Because forensic audits cost money. I have been noticing a theme across some of these very corrupted municipalities. When you hear the excuses, they all become the same. Well, we don't have no money. Stuff like that costs money. And we don't have no money. Well, how are you making payroll? What the heck going on over there? You are into something. You are onto something, I think, SP. Why would the village sue? Because you're definitely not going to get no money back from these vendors because they was approved on the warrant list. Because the lawsuit does not say that these were the unapproved checks. But anyway, do your own research. I'm just out here reporting the news. Do your own thing. Okay? Do your own thing. Okay? In my private community, we're going to go over this lawsuit. We're going to go over this lawsuit page by page. We're going to do some FOIAing because the most important thing that we need to do is what? We need to FOI for the warrant list if it's not posted, which they haven't posted. They don't have anything posted as far as this information. They did, and then they took it all down. So we have to FOI, which is going to take forever because I told you the last FOI I put in took months to get. Okay? So we need to FOI for the warrant list that include these check numbers. If they was approved, matter of fact, we might be able to go to, you know what I'm going to do? We can cross-reference. Let me tell you what you can do. If you want to do this on your own, but I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to create a spreadsheet and do it for you. What you can do, it's going to take a lot of time. Jesus, the offense, Lord. I got a million things I'm doing. You're going to have to bear with me, though. Is you can go to each month of these checks. So July of 2022, if the agenda minutes are listed and you go there and it goes to where it says paying the bills, you know, the bills list, and you don't see these checks listed as not pay, don't pay, remove from the warrant list. If they're not on that list, then they was approved to be paid. Huh? Okay. It's a technicality, and the lawyer for Dalton has to know that unless there was something hinky going on with some of the vendors. If it was, they should have been on the removal list, right? You know how when they call for the warrant list is in the discussion, and then the trustees say, yeah, I want to remove line so-and-so, check number so-and-so and so-and-so for $8,230 because it's something not right about that and we need to check that first. And then it should be in the minutes as such. And there are minutes up there where they have lists of where the clerk lists that trustee House said he wanted to remove these. If they not listed in that manner on the agenda minutes, then it was approved. That's what you can deduce from that. If it was approved spending, why are they suing? Because the checks only had one signature. You're not listening, Mark? Gosh. I was under the impression that Tiffany spent unapproved money. If it was approved, this looks like a hustle for the lawyers. Well, I ain't say it. I read Mark comment and Mark said it. So tussle with him. Don't come over here tussling with me. Tussle with him. Pink Panther can deduce that for you. But great job, Mark. This why I love my people over here, because y'all know y'all be thinking. Y'all be thinking ahead of me. Okay? Are the attorneys on the contingency or paid by the hour? If paid by the hour, this is pure hustle. Mark, the first question I asked you was, were they board approved? Huh? Were they put on the agenda? Because in order to hire a lawyer for the village to represent the village, you have to be put on an agenda and approved by the board. So were they? I haven't found it yet. Now, I'm hoping and praying that it was and that it was approved, but still, if this is a lawsuit on behalf of the village, Why is not the village attorney, which you already have a village attorney, why is he not handling the lawsuit? Because you declared yourself distressed in 2024, so you can't afford to have two sets of lawyers like you did last time on the payroll right now. But I could be wrong. I mean, I could be wrong. And I would say that this is probably, because it's litigation, it's probably a pay by the hour situation. Because that makes, I mean, litigation. It's litigation, so it would make sense. But, those are my questions, and somebody should be asking them at the board meeting. Where did these lawyers come from? When did we hire them? Why Alderson couldn't represent or file this lawsuit? Because according to their testimony at the last board meeting, they're dwindling down. The settlements and all of the lawsuits from Tiffany's times are really, dwindling down. So they should have plenty of time to be able to do other things. I don't know. I'm asking questions. Don't get mad at me. I'm asking a question. Huh? Okay. Hold on one second. Hold the line, please, because we're gonna take a little sneak peek into something. Because I got questions about a lot of people. So we are discussing people. Who hired them? All of that jazz. All of that business, right? We're gonna be talking about, hold on one second. Got a few. Let me see what y'all saying. Okay, nothing y'all shocked like me. Okay, good. Okay, before I get ready to get out of here, because I'm done, I just want you to think about that. In my private community, we got to finish Kasperic. So tomorrow, Monday, I'm going to be taking time in my private community to start on the Kasperic and also start reading this Tiffany lawsuit inside of the private community, so we can really have a strong, honest conversation about a few things. Okay? When I say strong, honest conversation in that private community about this, whew, might be something you don't want to miss. Okay? Let's talk about, I'm going to leave you with this tidbit because eventually we're going to be talking about this in our evaluation of was Tiffany right, comparing this Tiffany's administration to this current administration, okay? Because that's what we need to do. Since McGrath, Alderson, Murphy seem to represent the entire Southland, could it be a conflict? No, because they're going against the bank. They're going against the bank. They would do that for any municipality if something, was happening. Even so, the village should know the specific reason why they're not handling the lawsuit, because they are the village attorneys, and it is a lawsuit that states the village of Dalton versus Fifth and Third Bank. So they should be given a reason to the residents on why money is being spent somewhere else. Okay. Like I said, we're going to go through a lot of things. We're exploring right now. Is Tiffany right? Okay. And the reason why I'm bringing up this, I have Kim Austin's, here it is right here. I have Kim Austin's employee file from the village of Dalton. Okay. Could they represent the bank? I would say no, because they're there's different types of lawyers, right? You got finance lawyers, you got real estate lawyers, and I believe that they are general law and litigation lawyers. So their expertise is not in finance. So I doubt it, but definitely something fishy. But let's look at this because I want to read this because we're going to talk about we're talking about, was Tiffany right? She used to make a statement quite frequently. I'm going to find it and I'm going to play. I'm going to try to find every instance that she says this, that they didn't want to do anything but hire their friends. So let's talk about let's read this letter that's in Kim Austin's file, which I found very interesting. And we'll talk about why I found it interesting after we read it. Okay. So this says, "Dear Miss Austin, this is to formally notify you that your name was provided as a witness for an investigation that has been opened into a complaint against Samisha Williams by Miss April McEwen regarding an incident that occurred on July 28th, 2021. In order for us to fully investigate this matter, you will need to provide a witness statement as to the alleged incident and the complaint. I will schedule a meeting with you concerning the investigation so that you can provide your statement. If you have any questions, you may reach me at," and then that was the number. And at this point, Dorothy Brown was the village administrator, was acting village administrator. Okay. Do you see this name, Samisha Williams? Samisha Williams is the current chief of staff for this administration. Okay. She is the current chief of staff for this administration that was involved in some sort of complaint that was filed. And let me tell you, remember when I told you that I still am in an argument with the Attorney General's office about this FOI that the Village of Dalton answered. Because you see this letter saying that they needed her statement. Well, guess what's not in her file? This statement. They sent her a letter telling her she needed to give her statement. The statement that she gave is magically not in this file about Samisha Williams. Well, you say, well, what if she didn't give one? Well, here's another letter that told Kim that she was notifying her in an investigation that was open about a complaint against her. Okay? And so then, here it is again. Another notification about meeting for the Samisha Williams and April McEwen encounter. Kim Austin no longer works for the village. She gets another notice about this one. That one was about her. Now I find it interesting that the statements that she gave are not in this file. I mean, where are her statements? Huh? Where are her statements? You were sent a letter, then you were sent a follow-up letter. So where's the statement? I mean, you didn't send me all of these. Oh, now you tell me this young Kim Austin, here's her statement about the incident against her. So you mean to tell me she didn't fill out a statement about Samisha Williams and whatever that situation was? She absolutely probably did. And where is it? Where is her statement? Interesting things going on over there at the Village of Dalton. And I'm highly confused at this moment. You see it right there on the screen. She gave a statement about the complaint on her. So why wouldn't she give a statement about what occurred between Samisha Williams and this other lady? Where's her statement? These are the things that I'm finding interesting in this FOIA that I asked for. And this is how it was responded to with missing information. And I'm still in a tussle with the Attorney General's office, letting them know that these files are still missing information and where is it? Lord have mercy. I wish we would just do the right thing when presented with doing the right thing. All right, you got a lot to sit with. You got a lot to sit with today. Private Community Monday today. Monday night is your day. We're going to get back on the John Kasperick deposition. We're also going to go over this lawsuit very candidly. I'm going to be speaking about this lawsuit and my thoughts and what I believe is happening and all of those things. If you want to join a private community, this your time to do so. So with that being said, that's okay, Grave Secrets. Keep on watching. You're going to thoroughly enjoy this stream. Does anybody have anything else to add or you want to say anything? Listen, please leave me a comment. Please support this channel. Like, share, subscribe, super chat, donate. All of those things help me to be able to continue to research these things and get this information to you in a timely manner. Tuesday will be the next stream for the public, and we will be going over the ballot for this election. We will be going over the ballot for this election, and we may even contact some candidates to see if they will come on to this platform. Okay? Listen. I wish nothing but blessings for your life. Praying for you diligently every day. Okay? If there is anything, suggestions, comments, concerns, please leave them on the video. I do answer all the comments. At least I try. Some things I don't answer, but I at least try to give you a heart, let you know I saw it. I saw your comment. Okay? That's all I got. That's my time. All right? Let me know what you think about this information. Let me know where you stand with this information. But it's for the public. Next up, the ballot. We also have a Harvey Live coming up. We got a busy week next week. Busy, busy, busy. All right? Listen, I'm going to see you guys.